What's going on, guys? It's your boy Crypt here, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this video at all. I'm not going to make this a sad little video. I'm just going to get straight to the point. I'm going to be very blunt about this because that's the kind of guy I am. But I left Saul, and this is going to be the video explaining why I left Saul. So in order for me to try to do this properly, because the guys are still my friends, I'm not going to name drop anybody because I have too much respect for them out of that. But I'm going to try to start at the very beginning of like the very first incident that kind of triggered my mind into thinking about leaving Saul, all the way up until the very last incident that actually made me leave Saul. So a couple months ago when the 6 of us got picked up to Saul, there wasn't currently a director team. The 6 of us were me, there was Exact who actually left Saul with me, there was Jeeves who left Saul the exact same day but on a different occasion, there's Marco who left Saul about a week ago, there's Framework who left Saul about a month and a half ago, he got picked up to Dare, and then there's Sensos who is actually currently the only director in Saul right now. But the 6 of us felt like we had a stacked fucking roster, and they told us whenever they picked us up that we're gonna be pumping out uploads from you guys. We want director uploads on the Saul channel, which is just fucking great for guys like us because it's a big team, it's a place for us to showcase our work to everybody else, and it's a good platform for us to be on. So about a week after we got picked up, one of the directors actually had his upload put up on the Saul channel. It was Jeeves. He had Angry Snipers put up on there, and it actually got taken down. Like, it got put on private after about, I don't know, it was only a couple hours because the ratings were just doing absolutely awful. So it was one of those instances where we were all hyped that somebody got a video on the channel, but whenever it was taken down, it just kind of, you know, deflated us a little bit. So whenever that happened, it kind of triggered something in my mind. It's like, oh shit, are we really, you know, do we need to be here? But after this one upload that got put up on the channel, not a single director upload has been put up on the channel. And that's not to say that we haven't been working on anything. I know a bunch of people had their videos ready. I mean, Exact literally had his video done. Like, we found out we got picked up to Saul, I think like January 7th or 8th or something like that, and we were announced like the 20th. So we waited a long time before we were actually announced. But in that meantime, Exact actually already made his video for the Saul channel. I actually had my own video that was going to go up on the Saul channel. It was actually my top 10 clip of the week wrap for the SOAR RC. But that was a miscommunication issue, and the day that it was supposed to be uploaded was the last day of the SOAR RC, and they told me to just go ahead and upload it to my channel. No, Framework had a video ready for the Saul channel before he left. I think Marco was working on one. I know Sensos just needed an editor for his. Like, all of us were extremely motivated, and we were doing our part of the deal. But like I said, on week 1, whenever that director upload got put up, we haven't had anything since then. And I can only remember, like, on a handful of occasions where an overall would come into the chat and ask about our upload. So that was another thing. I kind of felt like we were really distant from the team. Like, we were in both chats, but like whenever we would link videos into the main chat, people would just kind of like act like it wasn't there. I mean, there was a handful of people that might support it, but there definitely was like, it was a very noticeable difference. But that was like the big main overall reason that was like driving me out of Saul, was because of the communication issues that we kept having, because we didn't have a lead director. Like, there's not a lead director in Saul right now. There wasn't one when all 6 of us were there. We had to answer to the overall, which is good on one hand because everybody in the director's team kind of feels equal. Nobody feels like they're better than the rest of them, but it's like extremely bad on the other hand because the overalls have so much shit they have to deal with, and we can kind of get lost in translation. So for about the last month, I've been pretty unhappy with the way things were going in Saul. I felt like I was stuck, and like I can't stand the feeling of being stuck. If I feel like I'm stuck, it pushes me against the wall, and I try to fight my way out. But whenever we found out that we were having a SAR RC, it kind of lifted my spirits a little bit because there was a director section, and I actually got to commentate part of the RC, so it was like they had some communication coming back to me, which felt good. Like, I actually liked having the communication about the RC and being able to do that. So in the RC, there was a director section, which I was just fucking stoked about because the director's chat has been dead for like the last 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even the last month. I mean, it's just been absolutely dead. You can tell everybody in the chat was just extremely demotivated. The overalls would only come in to link uploads from the Saul channel. They might ask about us every now and again, but like I said, I'm not trying to trash anybody. I'm not going to name drop anybody. I'm just saying, like, they have so much shit that they have to worry about. So we needed a lead director. Like, there was no reason to not have a lead director. Honestly, if we had a lead director, I wouldn't be in this situation right now. Because that's somebody that can communicate with the overalls a little better. That's somebody that has a little more charge. Somebody to actually, like, go to be that middleman between us and the overall. I think this is where everything kind of blew up for me. Because I was just so tired of having a dead chat. I was tired of being in a team where I felt like I didn't belong anymore. I was tired of not having communication with the overalls like we needed it. So I kind of took on a mock version of a lead director. So the RC ended on Friday, and I think Wednesday and Thursday and Friday is when I was asking everybody for the RC folder so I could go through all the directors. So Sunday morning, I woke up at 7 o'clock and literally sat down and watched every single video in the director's portion of this RC folder, which was well over 200 videos, guys. And out of those 200 videos, I narrowed it down to 10 to 15 guys that I thought were good enough for Saul, and I brought them to all the other directors, and I wanted their opinions on it, and like the overalls are in the director's chat with us, so they know like what I was trying to do. They could see the initiative that I was taking. But this is when things just just got really disorganized, and when the whole blow up happened with the surprise recruits, and I feel like a total piece of shit for that for those two guys. Like I couldn't sleep last night because of that. And the surprise recruitment thing, it really is the reason that like set me over the edge to leave. So Sunday, whenever I picked out all the guys I wanted, you know, I went through this folder, I sent it to all the other directors, the overall saw who they were. Like I was just so unbelievably excited at some of the guys that I saw, and I definitely knew I wanted to pick up somebody that night because I was just so anxious and I wanted somebody in the team. I was so tired. I was sick and tired. Like I was on like very thin strings about leaving Saw already because of how fucking tired I was of having a dead chat and just, you know, being stuck. So I was talking to an overall about things, and I mentioned 3 guys that I for sure wanted to pick up, and he told me one of them not to pick up because I originally planned to pick up 3 guys last night. I don't know why he didn't want me to pick up this certain guy. He didn't really tell me why. I asked about it, but he didn't tell me why. And I mentioned that I wanted to make a video recruiting these 3 guys. So I asked him about making a video picking up these 3 guys, and in the meantime, he told me not to pick up this one guy. So he told me I could make the video, but not to public it until we, you know, figure out who the winners are. So whenever he said this, I kind of thought he was talking about the 3rd guy because he didn't exactly tell me why not to pick him up. So I thought he was going to talk to some guys about picking him up or like what we should do with him. So I mentioned, I was like, okay, so I can still make the video about these 2 guys and I can pick them up tonight. And he told me to talk to another guy about it because he didn't know anything about those 2 guys. So I messaged the other guy about it, and you know, I haven't seen him talk in months. So whenever he didn't answer, I went to another guy thinking that was alright because, you know, the main overall told me to go to somebody else, so I thought it would be okay to go to somebody else. Man, this is getting confusing. So the 3rd guy that I went to agreed to making the video, loved the initiative that I was taking, was going to tweet it out on the Saw Twitter. I was going to make the video. I made an awesome video surprise recruiting these guys. Like neither one of them knew I was picking them up. I thought it was a really interesting video. It was a great way to, you know, recruit somebody. I tried to make it as non-boring as possible. Like I was really happy with the way the video went. But in the meantime, whenever I was trying to get all this stuff situated, the main guy that I was talking to fell asleep. So whenever the video dropped, everybody fucking loved it. I mean, he got 600 views within the first hour, which I've never had a video do that either. And we got the guys in the director's chat, and they were just fucking blowing up the chat, and it was so fun. Like it reminded me of whenever we first got into Saw, how hype I was. And I think that you could go to the other directors in Saw, and they would pretty much say the same thing to me. Like the chat was active again for the first time in a long time. Everything was so hype. It was so amazing to be in Saw. And then I went to sleep. Whenever I woke up, that's when, like, I'm done. So I woke up to the Saw Twitter saying that these 2 guys have not been picked up due to miscommunication issues. And I go in the main chat to try to figure out what happened, and like the main guy that I was talking to pretty much said something about, like, if you go behind my back, I will kick you. Like, never actually directed it towards me, but, like, it was obviously towards me because I was the one that surprise recruited him and everything was my idea. But, like, that just kind of, that literally pissed me off because I wasn't trying to go behind the man's back, and I was trying to do something awesome for Saw. I guess I kind of overstepped my boundaries a little bit. I was really motivated, probably over-motivated, but, you know, I was doing everything in a good name. I was trying my hardest to keep it alive, to keep the director's side alive. And whenever I saw that he thought I went behind his back, like, I couldn't understand it. And that's where the whole miscommunication term comes from. Like, we had such a horrible communication system with the overalls that shit like that happened. And I talked to him, and, like, he wasn't even mad whenever I started talking to him again, but, like, the damage had already been done to me. But, like, just those 2 guys, whenever they got picked up to Saw, and I saw how happy they were that they got into Saw, it was awesome. And then to know that they were no longer in the team, and it was because of me and because of miscommunication that I had with the overall leaders. Like, I just could not get over that. So whenever they got kicked, I kind of decided, like, there's no way I can stay in Saw now. There's no way I can stay. Ballistic in effect, I'm so fucking sorry, guys. Like, you are good enough to be in Saw. You're good enough to be in a team above Saw. Like, you guys are fucking amazing directors, and I am so fucking sorry. I don't know if they're going to pick up you 2 after this. I don't know if they're going to pick up any of the 10 to 15 guys that I listed for them, but just know, like you guys are good enough for any team out there. Like, you guys are good. That would be like somebody in Dare finally picking me up to Dare. Like, my dreams are realized, and then 8 hours later, I get dropped because they didn't actually have the permission whenever they thought they did. But after all that happened, I was talking to Exact, and, like, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, I honestly didn't even know really what was going on. I was trying to understand it, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I just could not do it anymore. So I left. But I just want you to know, like, me and Exact, we went to the leaders. Like, we're not pussies, okay? We didn't just leave the chat, and then they have to find out that we left from somebody else. We literally put all the leaders in a big group chat, and we told them, like, you know, what was wrong and, like, why we were leaving because we didn't want to do it anymore. I just want you guys to know that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much why I left Saw, and I fucking hate it because Saw was awesome. I liked being in the team. The guys there were really cool, but, you know, just certain things don't work out for a reason. But I hope you guys are going to continue to still support me throughout my journey. I don't know what the next step is from here. But until next time, guys, it's been your boy Crypt, and I'm signing out.